Mr. Putin, we do not know each other, but we have something in common. We are both humans living on this planet, and you are the leader of a proud and fine group of people with a rich history, culture, and background. We get why you are concerned about Ukraine, Mr. Putin, since it sits in the heart of Russia. It would be nice if it wanted to be part of Russia, but it does not. No more than the 15 other countries that could not wait to distance themselves and claim independence after the fall of the Soviet Union. Taking a sovereign country like Ukraine, or any country for that matter with its own culture, language, political system, by force, has never proven to be a successful long-term strategy. So your regime decided to take Ukraine by force, but instead of engaging their military directly, your regime decided to take the cowardly path by terrorizing and killing innocent civilians and children. If you really wanted to demonstrate Russia's might, fight the Ukrainian military toe-to-toe, and you will find that your soldiers do not believe in killing their peaceful neighbors without provocation. And the Ukrainians are fighting for their families, their homeland, their culture, and the right to self-determination. That is the difference and reasons your war campaign has been largely unsuccessful. Now, if you want the Ukrainians to merge with and become part of Russia, stop killing them and put the issue up to a vote. Ask them if that is what they want and let them choose. So far, they appear to be far more interested in joining their Western neighbors. So, Mr. Putin, what is your end game? Bomb the country to rubble while the citizens flee for their lives by the millions? And if you prevail, put a pro-Russian government in place? What happens next? Will they come back, embrace the same government that killed their families, neighbors, and destroyed their homes, shops, and economy? Will they welcome your intrusion, subjugation, and destruction with open arms, with celebrations, support, and ticker-tape parades? Has anyone on your administration thought this through? You and your regime are on the world stage, observed while history is being recorded. Now here's what I suggest. First of all, drop the saber-rattling nuclear threat rhetoric. It seriously undermines your credibility. The whole world knows the first one to push the nuclear button is committing global suicide, wiping out all life forms. No one believes that you are crazy enough to pull that trigger, and no one in your country would let you do it. Your military is intentionally killing innocent humans by bombing non-military facilities. Stop taking innocent human lives immediately. Respect Ukraine's sovereignty and right to self-determination and get out of their country. You and your thugs have no business there, no one invited you, and the general population does not want or need liberation. And finally, make war reparations and restore the infrastructure damage that you have done. You have taken a peaceful country that has coexisted as a neighbor, shared some culture, and decimated their infrastructure, and displaced millions of victims that committed no crimes against Russia. In conclusion, Mr. Putin, if you stay on this path, your legacy will join the list of the most reviled and hated despots from Hitler, Idi Amin, Mao Zedong, Pol Pot, and Stalin, who was responsible for the Ukrainian famine that claimed an estimated death of 3.9 million people in the last century. You see, Mr. Putin, we share some history, you and I. My family was invited to Ukraine by Catherine the Great, who wanted to westernize Russia in the 1700s, and tens of thousands of Germans took advantage of the free Ukraine land offer and integrated into your culture. By World War II, being German in Russia was not only unpopular, but lethal. Males were being executed or hauled off to forced labor camps in Siberia. After my uncles and grandfather were either executed or sent north, never to be heard from again, The rest of my family fled on refugee trains. One of my great-grandmothers died en route while fleeing and had to be left on the side of the road without burial. I never met my grandfather as a result. My mother spent her entire life grieving. So you see, what's going on in Ukraine hits home for me. Stop the killing, Mr. Putin, and learn to live in peace with this neighbor. I'm Pete Gruber, and this video is a clear departure from our normal video content, which focuses on high-tech, planet-saving initiatives, themes centered on conversion of fossil fuel transportation to electric vehicles, and all things Tesla. In this video, our planet-saving themes substantially broaden into another more pressing existential threat, with a rogue superpower taking this planet to the brink of extermination by recklessly igniting a war with a neighboring country under the guise of liberation, using the same lame rhetoric and justifications to killing and terrorizing civilians to liberate them. Sadly, our species seems to have learned little from the horrors of the last century, which was plagued with senseless wars and extermination of human life for frivolous and politically motivated causes just like this one currently in Ukraine. It appears the raising of global consciousness has not kept pace with technology, which has exponentially increased our ability to exterminate our own species at increasingly blinding speeds. If we are able to influence or nudge world events with this video and save just even one life, reawaken appropriate outrage at the atrocities being committed, wake up the perpetrators, and alter the direction of this war, the goal of this short video has been met. Thank you again for joining us for another video segment.